back to Tony and Casey's Best of Food and Wine on Smooth and Easy. CL 650.
And that's why I'm gonna take you good girls. I know you want it. I know you want it. I know you want it. Good girl.
Welcome back to the Best of Food and Wine. I'm Tony Gismondi.
I'm Casey Wilson.
I know you want it, but can you drink it? That's the question.
I can drink it.
Our next guest is Eric von Krosigk. Eric's we've known for too many years, probably. Winemaker, viticulturist, working up at Summerhill, biodynamic freak. I don't know. It goes on and on. Natural wines, maybe. Organic wines, yes. It's a special place.
It's a very special place.
How are you?
Is.
Very fine, thanks.
Sneaking away before the harvest starts.
It just ended. We just finished off the last late harvest about 2 weeks ago.
And it's going to be pushing soon down there. I hear it's so warm.
It's unbelievably warm. Yeah, we're setting up almost like last year.
Yeah.
Like the daffodils are up. They were playing golf last week in Kelowna.
Wow.
Yeah, playing golf.
Does that make you nervous with the...
Not yet. As long as I have everything bottled by the time the fall rolls around, I'm okay.
Good. Good.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay, Eric, you brought a couple of wines in, very different wines.
Yeah, so I brought in Summerhill. We do a lot of sparkling wines, Cipes Brut and Cipes Rosé. And this one is from 2011. It's the Blanc de Franc, so 100% Cabernet Franc, which in 2011 was a challenging year, but it made actually a perfect Cabernet Franc for a sparkling
wine from Cabernet Franc. Now, how many sparkling Cabernet Francs are there in the world?
I don't think
more
a lot.
than I know, or no?
No.
You don't think a lot, yeah.
I don't think a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll give it a whirl. Is it any easier to make sparkling wine with other varieties, or is it just
it doesn't always work. Like with Cabernet Franc in 2011, we picked this November 18th at 19.5 Brix in Osuyas. That's how cold the year was.
Wow.
That's as ripe as it got. So, but it was phenolically ripe, but not sugar ripe, and that worked. In the case of bubbly, normally if you picked it at 19.5 Brix, you'd be making like a sparkling Greek salad.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm wondering why I'm drinking any wines from Osoyoos then of 2011, if that was what was going on.
There was,
it was cold.
It was cold. It was a cool year. We turned most of our reds that year into ice wine.
Yeah.
This one showed just beautifully.
Are these grapes organic?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much everything we do, except for the iron fills, everything's organic. And we're at the winery in the vineyard. We're certified biodynamic as well, Demeter certified.
Are you pretty comfortable with all that now, or?
I am,
Do you still have to beat the horse, or?
Well, I've discovered that there's actually 3 Stella Natura style calendars. So if the moon cycle isn't working for me on one, I can always switch to another.
I see. That is interesting.
But you've lost all control, Eric.
Yeah, to some degree. Like with the Gruner Veltliner, the next one we're going to try making biodynamic wine, so not using yeast, which, you know, I've made conventional wines for many years. This is in May it'll be my 33rd year of making wine.
Wow.
Yeah, but what I have learned is less is more. Like, get it right in the vineyard. 80% of the quality in the bottle is the grapes. So work hard with the viticulturists, with grape growers, and then, I mean, I'm not going to lie, the first couple of years of making Bio-D wines, I was white blonde as a kid, but I'm discovering Arctic blonde now in my hair. Yeah.
Well, this wine is quite nice. The fruit is super.
Yeah, it's quite surprising because it has the red fruit, and then it comes off. It has that slightly sage sort of herbal note in the finish.
Yeah. There's a bit of blueberry too. Like it's I don't know. It's quite a good fruit hit on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So phenolically, it got right. But it never got, it wasn't ever going to be a great Cabernet Franc.
Yeah.
But, but it was beyond the bell pepper and the green pepper and all the pyrazine stage, so it wasn't going to be green and nasty. So yeah, it was just one of those fluky things that we found in the middle of a field.
And a few cases of beer, and it was called Blanc de Franc, or how did that come about?
Well, actually, Blanc de Franc because I just like the name, and I was thinking of Cabaret Franc or Mr. Frank Supernac actually when I named it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, my old buddy who
didn't
quite make it, but I was thinking of him. I was like, oh, there's a Blanc de Franc.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, delicious wine.
Yeah.
Fun to taste that. And so this wine is available, obviously. We're tasting it.
Yeah, available. We made about 600 cases, which, see, we
where would you find it, at the winery or?
You find it at the winery and specialty wine stores here in
specialty-
Vancouver.
Yep. And we would pay for this roughly.
$35.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, that's great.
Method Champenois has been aged for 5 years. I mean,
Yeah.
Anything
it's a real
you
thing.
like to eat with this?
I think it tends to go with like, well, turkey in particular, but you know, pork, chicken, duck, anything like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe even salmon would work. Huh?
Yeah, salmon would definitely work.
Yeah. Now you brought a very unusual wine. Not unusual, but unusual in British Columbia.
Very unusual for British Columbia.
Yeah. So I'm quite interested to hear a bit about this Gruner Veltliner and where it's growing.
So this is grown on site. This is 100% grown.
In Kelowna.
Yeah, in Kelowna. It's one of our own. So this is the very first vintage of it. It was just picked not that long ago.
Wow.
And when did you plant the grapes?
Planted the grapes about 3 years ago.
And how difficult was that to
Well-
make a decision to go with Gruner Veltliner?
Well, we had a neighboring block that we've always had about 25 plants to play with, but never enough to do in a bottle. So we knew it would do really well, and we were really impressed with the flavors. We had a little setback initially because the deer got in and just mowed it all down. They seem to really like Gruner leaves. So they looked like little bonsai sticks the first year round, but they came back, and yeah, so we got our first little bit of a crop last year. So we made about 125 cases. Also biodynamic, which in biodynamic it's really interesting because you know after years of using every adjunct under the sun, you get to that point where you say, well, I don't actually need anything.
No,
Let's
you don't.
Just let's add nothing except
And
for
it-
grapes.
Yes.
It actually tastes like it doesn't have anything in it, which I just love.
Yeah.
It's very pure.
Yeah, it's very pure. There's nothing getting in the way, and there's nothing been taken away.
Yeah. What would you, if someone came up to you and said, "Oh, I drink Chardonnay, I drink Sauvignon," what could they expect from a Gruner Veltliner in the glass?
Well, I always think Gruner in particular is a lot like Riesling. You know, it usually has some pretty good acidity with it, but unlike Riesling, it always has a. For me, I always pick it out on a celery note. Like that would be the one thing I'm always looking for. If you know, when you get the blind tasting, you go, "Oh, what is
yes,
that?"
Yes.
Which I don't always do well on, but
This wine is delicious, Eric.
well,
It
thank you.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Have
lot
you-
of layers to it.
Have you tried it with the Comina, like side by side, or I don't know what the difference might be, or
I haven't tried it side by side. I really love the Colmena.
yeah,
Yeah, it's really a beautiful, beautiful wine.
which is I think is quite a high altitude, eh? Maybe
Yeah.
500 meters. So what is the altitude where you're at? Do you know offhand, or
Yeah, we're around 1,300 feet.
1,300 feet? Oh, now you're confusing me. So you're at like 400 meters, maybe. Or,
Old school. Yeah.
Yeah, right on. So what will the future be for this? Do you think?
I
In
think
terms of quantity, planting, whatever, is it?
we're going to continue to plant it. I mean, we have, I think, 2.5 acres in the ground right now. So this is
Very cool.
really just the very first blush from the vineyard. So the
Yeah.
very first crop. And in 2015 was also a very unusual year. It was a lot of heat, you know, heat like we've never seen before.
Yeah.
So it was a
It's
very,
ripe.
yeah, it's ripe. Like
Mhm.
it went way beyond, you know, it's not really that green flavor that you'd expect, but you know, it showed beautifully. And I don't know, I think the Okanagan is going that way anyways. Like 20 years ago we had Diacetic.
Yeah, no, I love it. We don't need another Chardonnay. You know, we really need some of these wines. Because what I think will happen is we'll get better Chardonnay if we grow more Gruner and we more, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
once people get a sense of what other textures and flavors can be, then they go back to these old varieties and ask why are they flat, or like why aren't they as interesting as these wines? And I think that pushes everybody to.
Well, what I'm seeing is there's, you know, a lot of young talent coming in, especially in the vineyards, and they're putting
Yeah.
a lot more emphasis on clonal selection and really matching up the right soil with the
Yeah.
right grape, which in the past, it's just been, you know, people
Yeah.
trying to make too many mortgage
And
payments.
you know, I don't
Yes.
I don't expect consumers to know anything about that, but it's so important what's going on in the vineyard. And really, as you say, for you, 85% of the wine that comes in, it's already done in the vineyard.
It is.
but-
Like, I can't magic that.
But if you're 20 years old, know nothing about vineyards, and you're growing grapes, that's not much coming in. So like the expertise, the knowledge, what's being passed on now, it's really important with the way that we look after our viticulture.
Yeah, but and the world of information has really opened up, you know, so people are communicating more, they're getting better education, and they're getting better global education. So people
Yeah.
are showing up, you know, with a lot more knowledge. And,
Yeah.
you know, it used to be, oh, well, the neighbor was doing this, I'm going to do that too.
Yes.
That was the extent of the education.
Yeah,
How can we get this wine?
That wine available at the winery.
can't.
There's some at the
At the
LDB,
booth.
At the booth here and at the
Great.
LDB, but Mostly through the winery. It's so tiny. So there might be
Yes.
a few.
I just
VQA
want to be
stores.
clear. You mean in the on-site store? There's
The
some of
on-site
this
store.
wine.
That's
yeah.
correct, yes.
But the best is to go to the winery or go online and
Yeah,
grab a few bottles.
Yeah, it's 120 cases. It
It's
won't
not
last.
going to last long.
It's going to last long, but and that's okay.
Yeah.
Did
2015
we
Summerhill
talk
Vineyard.
about the price?
The price is around $22.
Yeah.
And
Nothing.
how about the bubbly?
The bubbly's 35.
And where can we find that? At the LDB?
Specialty liquor stores.
Okay.
Not at the LDB, but specialty liquor stores and also at the winery and on the website at summerhill.bc.ca.
Private liquor stores.
Private liquor stores, that's right.
We think specialty is government, so
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Translate that.
all good.
Yeah.
Great to catch up with you, Eric.
Yeah, good seeing
Are
you
you having
too.
fun in the room too?
Yeah, it's a great crowd. It's
Yeah.
lovely to meet so many people and so many people that are interested, in the world of wine.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're
Yeah.
having great conversations.
And have you had a chance to go around to a few of the Italian booths? And
I love Italian wine. I have not got enough, but I
there's some
sneak
great
out.
fizz over there.
There's some. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the Ferrari.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
And the Cartesi, I don't know if you've had.
No, I haven't tried the Cartesi
Okay,
yet.
well, you've got to get around there. There's still some great fizz. You'll enjoy it.
He's working, Tony. Don't discourage.
He's got people.
I got my people. Yeah. Until I don't.
Eric von Krosigk, winemaker, viticulturist from Summerhill Estate Winery. Thanks so much for joining us. Pyramid Winery, I should say.
So real Pyramid. Well, thank you, Tony.
yeah.
Thank you, Casey.
Great
You're
to see you.
welcome. Great
Can't
to
wait to come up.
get together.
Restaurant ready to roll. Chef, everything's going well. So
Yeah, restaurant ready to roll. Italian theme. It'll be sort of rustic Italian and a raw sushi bar.
love it.
Yeah.
Our best to the Sipes family.
Will do.
Great.
Cheers.
Eric von Krosigk, he's the winemaker and viticulturist at Summerhill. There's still lots more ahead here, live on location at the Vancouver International Wine Festival. Art, maybe we should just quickly mention our fantastic prize, which you don't have in front of you, so it's going to be by memory.
Oh, I've got this.
You've got it.
We're giving away a 2-night stay at the Painted Boat Resort Spa and Marina
Oh, yeah.
on the
And-
Sunshine Coast.
Sure.
Even includes BC ferry passes, a couples massage,
Yep.
and a deluxe breakfast basket.
Wow.
All you got to do, you got to come here before 9 o'clock because we're drawing it at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Put your name in our little fish bowl.
Eric, put your name in the bowl before you go.
$2,500 prize.
Wow. Couples massage.
$2,500.
I had no idea massage was so expensive.
Well,
Oh, it's the room too, eh?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm Tony Gismondi.
I'm Casey Wilson.
We'll take a quick break. Be right back.
This is Tony and Casey's Best of Food and Wine on CL 650.